Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a channel divine masculine energy update. I'm going to talk about the information I've come into, and then we're going to pull some cards. So I feel a lot is progressing, even though it may not appear that way in your physical reality. I feel there's been a lot changing recently. And I think right now, the secret for the divine feminine is to hold absolutely no expectations. And so I feel it's like I was shown like this vacuum energy. And so I feel like everything's being sucked into this vacuum when it comes to all of these codependent interactions that the masculine has kind of been connected with. And so we do need to understand on the twin flame journey that life is a continuous cycle of all kinds of relationship experiences. And so there's beginnings, there's middles, and there's ends. And I feel this activation of this consciousness. And I do feel recently there's been a rejection which has led to this moment of humiliation for the divine masculine. And so I feel this acceptance of the rejection is a big part of what the masculine is kind of processing at this time, this acceptance of these big life changes. And rejection is always a part of the process, and rejection is always God's protection. And so I feel all of these self-destructive behaviors has led to a lot of melodramatic reactions, which ultimately has recently led to a rejection, because the masculine really has lost his sense of self-worth. I feel he's lost a lot of material worth, and I feel this has led to a lot of humiliation. I also feel this huge creative block. I was shown this huge block of energy when it comes to all of this lack of inspiration surrounding the divine masculine. And so as the feminine attunes to all of these higher frequencies, I feel this deep recognition that the divine feminine is the masculine's muse. And without her energy being fed to him, it is this huge lack of inspiration, this huge creative block. And I feel as the feminine ebbs and flows with all of this newfound creative energy, it is this energy of things leaving the masculine's life very, very quickly. And he knows very much so that the time is now to take action. But he's stuck in this mundane, overcoming feeling of emptiness. It's like the void, and the void is the place of creation. And so I feel a lot of uninspired energies surrounding the masculine when it comes to this change. And it is this fear-based energy creating all of this stasis surrounding the divine masculine. And so it is about stepping into the greater collaboration for the whole, for humanity. And I feel the masculine's trying to add up all of the sums of all of these fragmented pieces. And so I feel the feminine is kind of just being asked to keep expanding personally at this time, as it, you know, stems around the communal efforts for the spiritual community. And I feel a lot of the feminines really are progressing, really implementing all of these positive changes in their life. And this deep need for the masculine to be the center of attention, and the ignorance that he's played into when it comes to the importance of this connection really has led for like this deep hungering. It's like a vampire needing that fix kind of energy. And so this deep insatiable hunger for the divine feminine's energy, which I feel many of us have completely withdrawn. And so it is this severing, the severing of all of the karmic attachments. And I feel this has all been symbolized in all kinds of synchronicities since that last full moon energy. And so there's been a lot of purging, a lot of clearing leading up to the next new moon cycle in Leo. And so I feel a lot of obsessive thoughts, and they are going to be fading away. This obsession is going to be fading away, but the masculine has to embrace this change just for the sake of change at this point in time. And so a lot of lessons are coming up for the masculine to kind of sit with, to understand, to process, when it comes to his abuse of powers in past lives, his abuse of his position as a masculine energy. And I feel all of these accumulated perks in the karmic contract have been taken away as part of this retribution. And I feel this deprivation energy surrounding the masculine, this starving energy. And I feel he's been kind of like walking on eggshells. And I feel like this recrimination surrounding the divine masculine. And so all of this self-sacrificing energy has led to a lot of altruism in the masculine's life. And so this lack of principle, the lack of interaction, the lack of communication, the lack of harmony when it comes to communicating, especially when it comes to the benefit of the whole, really has led to the masculine's detriment at this time. And so I was shown a lot of Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is going to be going retrograde. I believe it is on the 29th. And so this lack of cooperation in general really has led to deep, deep sorrow and personal regret at this point in time. And I don't feel there's much interaction surrounding the masculine life. And so the masculine's life. And so this will lead to a lot of personal expansion that the masculine has lost throughout the years on the journey. And I feel there will be a lot of progressive communication once the masculine progresses beyond this self-sacrificing martyrdom energy. And so it is the moment in time where I feel the masculine is being asked to find his energy to rectify and to correct these past poor behaviors. And so a lot of energies of recrystallization of the DNA of the rainbow light body recently. And so I feel a lot of purging physically for many of the feminines as the masculine goes through this very intense transformational period. And so in order for this correction to be effective, the masculine is going to have to completely destruct all of these old ego tendencies, and he's going to have to personally apply himself. And I feel a lot of severe karma is being served when it comes to this insurance of this correction. And so all of this resistance, I feel the masculine is being constantly met with resistance when it comes to reinforcing this bad decision that he's made. And so rather than rectifying the situation, he's been resisting doing the right thing, coming from a place of integrity and honesty. And so all of these energies are reinforcing this resistance, creating all kinds of negative situations, bringing about severe change and destruction of the old. And resistance will always be met with destruction, which is that tower energy. And so a lot is going on in the mystical realms at this point in time when it comes to channeling these transitionary energies. And a lot of these masculines wanted to be like this jack of all trades, or like the jack of all the women, and they were players, and they were not honest, and they were not willing to speak that truth. And it's almost like they've got this huge lump, this huge block in their throat when it comes to taking accountability. And so this is where they really got to sense all of this pain in order to release all of the guilt, the shame, and anything that's prevented them from stepping into owning that solar plexus power, from taking action. And so it was very restless energy. I feel a lot of curiosity, and I feel this fear of high expectations and this exploration, and it was feeling very exhilarating when I connected in the higher mystical realms. And so I feel this energy of the masculine feeling alone, learning to find his voice to, communicate how he truly feels. And I feel there is this deep desire for change, and this very impersonal viewpoint when it comes to this relational experience with the feminine has hindered that throat chakra voice activation. And so I feel he's being prodded, poked and prodded along when it comes to not stepping into this higher awareness. And so all of this hunger when it comes to this depth of really wanting to feel that unconditional love from the feminine, because where he's been at, it's been conditioned. It's been kind of Restricted is the energy that's coming through, and I feel a lot of emotional waves. And so just like when we're hungry, we desire to find something to feed that hunger. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are focused on collecting all of these relationship experiences, all of these life experiences, so they can finally learn from them, rather than repeating these experiences over and over again. So I do feel mastery is about to be expressed as all of this wisdom is gained. And when the wisdom is gained, then this can manifest as the masculine coming forward ready to give that advice for the collective. And so a lot of memories, a lot of past life memories when it comes to these past life timelines shifting, providing the masculine with the truth of what's ultimately going to bring him that deep sense of emotional satisfaction. And this very negative karmic experience itself has led the masculine to kind of change his taste. He had poor taste. He went towards the gold dust woman. He didn't choose the gold. He chose the gold dust, the fake, the superficial experience. And so I feel this mountain energy, climbing this mountain and almost able to see who is on the other side of that mountain, which would be the divine feminine. And so I feel his health, recently a health scare or something that has alerted the masculine to course correct when it comes to entering into this new experience. A lot of these masculines entered into that karmic experience just for the sake of not having to be alone. And I feel they lack that objective observer that they've needed to be when it comes to this clear understanding. And so we are here to be those light beings, to share these experiences that we've carried throughout the lifetimes and this lifetime when it comes to healing these ancestral patterns, and when it comes to the potential of transforming humanity to step fully into 5D Earth. And so this deep seeking energy. And I feel so often a lot of these masculines jump into these karmic relationships for fear of being alone because of that abandonment wound, and they go right into a karmic relationship that mirror reflects that abandonment wound until they learn that lesson. And so a lot of repercussions for their actions are coming up. I feel a lot of the masculines, you know, they're so prone to seeking this instant gratification, this emotional rush, in hopes of escaping the pain of having to look at the separation with the divine feminine. And right now they're very bored. And there is no new experience for them to dive into. It's like the well has run dry, and ain't nobody want a piece of that divine masculine because he's kind of like tattered, old, used, and abused at this point in time. And so there's no more escaping looking at these fixed patterns, understanding these fixed patterns. It's like this holding cell energy, this waiting cell energy, and this really is a fundamental part of attuning and aligning to these higher frequencies. And so I feel this holding pattern, this holding cell, this waiting is an active form of awareness. And, you know, having to find that blind faith when it comes to the ties that bind is what I heard. And so there's recently been a huge separation, huge change. And it's this energy, if we all go down, we all go down together. So it's like the captain of the ship has gone down with the ship. It's a sinking ship and it's going down fast. And I feel the masculine is needing to find his perseverance, his courage to face all of these adversities, and the power to maintain integrity in his life. And so a lot of these masculines prematurely jump into this disastrous karmic relationship with this urge to cut their losses with the feminine, and it's really played into their weaknesses, and it's maintained and reinforced their weaknesses, and there's this huge lack of inner peace because they chose not to ignore that temptation, and they took premature action without really thinking it through. And so I feel the feminine's gift in the energy as the masculine goes through this big fall is maintaining composure, maintaining tranquility in the energies, and your power of just being comfortable with where you're at in the journey and trusting that the divine is kind of taking over at this point in time. And so We usually don't get to a place of deep inner peace unless we experience that dark stagnation of the dark night of the soul. And so very uncomfortable energies. It's like this constrainment, this restrictive energy when it comes to all of these compulsive negative behaviors. And so a lot of fear. I feel the masculine are feeling very helpless, very stressed, a lot of anxiety, and all of these compulsive behaviors have created all of these negative limiting effects when it comes to flight, fight, or freeze. And so I feel a lot of imagination running wild because they really don't have any idea where many of the feminines are at. And so I feel a lot of stress. If they do not take the lead and take action, I feel they're needing to surrender to these limitations at this time. And I feel the moon energy, now that the moon is in Aries, it's demanding this energy of, hey, you can no longer stand still. Aries is saying it's action time. And a lot of these masculine have been so unable to surrender because they've kind of created this energy of the odds are now kind of stacked against them. And so, pardon me, it was like this hunter energy. So interesting. My nephew's name is Hunter, but it's like this hunter energy when it comes to survival. And so I think a lot of the masculines can now clearly see the feminine in that halo, in their creative genius. And all of this passive energy is really leading the masculine to look at his personality and where he's played into vanity, greed, materialism, ego, and this stronghold of unwilling to take the lead, this energy of hiding behind a mask. This is all very threatening to his very survival at this time. And so this deep denial towards the feminine has brought forward all kinds of unpredictable costs, delays, and challenges. And so I feel a lot of this energy of looking at the feminine as this joy, their joy, and looking at the feminine as this beautiful, enlightened being, this calm amidst the storm. And I feel the masculine is in this storm, and the feminine is the eye of the storm. She is the all-seeing eye of the storm. A call just come through from Windsor. But anyway, and so I feel they've dismissed this joy. They've gone towards this illusion, and now it's just waiting for that ultimate failure to come full circle. A lot of disillusionment, and our power is to be the calm in the storm in order for the masculine to find his place in this flow of like tsunami energy. And so I was shown like a yield sign, and so it's like yield energy. And so waiting is never free from pressure. And so this yielding, this waiting has created all of this pressurized energy, a lot of physical towers, a lot of mental towers, and unexpected punctuated karma is what I wrote down. And so this is where growth comes, awareness comes, and I feel he's learning to bend and ebb and flow through all of these universal frequency upgrades. And so he's kind of stuck in this fixed rhythm, dealing with all of these pressures until he chooses to step into growth and empowerment. And it is always through the unexpected shakeups that we find our balance and we can reach that 0 point, that no polarity. And so I feel we're all given free will on the journey, but the masculine has been given this power of position within the collective. And it is inevitable that the masculine be forced to accept this ego death, this transformation, and to step into his mystical purpose and fulfill that with the divine feminine. And so I feel being in the flow is going to be key. I feel a lot of purging from the sacral chakra, which is where we hold all of our emotional baggage from all of our past lives. And so this deep collective understanding, I feel, has been washing over the masculine. And we do need to understand waiting does not mean stopping. Waiting is an active state, just like not choosing a direction is an active state. And so it's like being pregnant and waiting to birth that new energy. And so it's this tenacity coming forward, forcing the masculine to stay true to his inner rhythm, to instill a higher frequency of vitality. I do feel a lot of health issues are coming up in order for the masculine to instill new rituals and routines and to attune to all of these high vibrations surrounding his life. And so he is being forced. He is now being forced. He's been given the choice of free will many times over, and now he's being forced to deviate from that karmic contract, whether it's being physically thrown out. It could be a mental or emotional breakdown, but whatever it is, it's this very destabilizing energy, and it's creating all of these insecurities, illuminating all of these unhealthy behaviors and physical disorders in order to get the masculine to question his very existence at this time. And so very extreme energies when it comes to the instant gratification that has lured him away from his purpose. And so I feel this very powerful abandonment wound, and a lot of disruptions, a lot of unpredictability when it comes to the masculine's fixed ways, forcing him to embrace a healthier way of being. And so a lot of understanding when it comes to appreciating what the divine feminine actually brings to the table, which is helping the masculine embrace and transcend all of these challenges and limitations at this time. So we're going to pull in with some cards, and we're going to see, like, the student is ready. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so this is really indicating this openness and readiness to receive the lesson. And there's that deep aloneness. And so a lot of these masculines cord to all of these unhealthy contracts because they are afraid of their own company. Because if they're alone, then guess what? They're going to have to look in the mirror. And they can't avoid going into this lonely reevaluation. There's a huge release, and the universe is kind of in control at this point in time in order for the masculine to find his truth, because he was misguided. He was led astray. He was lied to by that social circle, by the karmic feminine, who told all kinds of lies about the divine feminine, and the light has been shone on that. And there's no denying what is speaking to the masculine's heart and soul when it comes to making decisions for himself. So he's basically created this situation out of that lack of integrity, the lack of communication, and the lack of truth. And so consequences for his choices, and maybe choosing to finally live consciously. So let's see what else needs to come through for the divine masculine update. In the precipice of transformation. So it's similar energy to what I channeled for the weekly forecast. And so it is a major rediscovery. He is seeing that truth that he did not see before. I feel the illusion has been shattered, and there's all kinds of obstructions as part of this heart chakra awakening. And so definitely that contract with the feminine, with all of these old cycles, these old patterns, is coming up for that moment of self-actualization. And there's that Jupiter expansion that I felt. And so this is the doorway opportunity. We are very close to that Lionsgate portal. And I feel the masculine is on the road to achieving his fullest potential. But there is this need to release all of these outdated beliefs, all of these destructive habits, and these poor choices. And I do feel that karmic contract has been long dead and gone, and the masculine still has not chosen to take action. And so that's when the universe kind of has to step in and force him to clear this energy once and for all, and a huge lesson in equal giving and receiving. And so what the masculine did not give to the feminine, he is not receiving that from the karmic. He's kind of getting exactly what it is that he deserves when it comes to all of these blockages. And there is a need for the masculine to protect himself as he prepares for this liberation. And so I feel he's definitely received some activations from the higher chakras when it comes to the clarity that was needed for what needs to be released to find that alternative solution. Intense heart chakra awakening, and we've all been feeling that. I've heard from several people that they have felt that heart energy for the masculine collective, and so a huge purging and cleansing. And I do feel a Kundalini activation, this maximizing energy flow, the coiled snake rising up all the way to the higher chakras. And so that karmic contract is very intense. There is a need for forgiveness. I feel this etheric body DNA activation, the recrystallization of the soul's DNA has been taking place. And he's deep within the pain, deep within facing his hurts, his fears in order to redefine the future. And so releasing all of these outdated beliefs, knowing that it's time to experience a new spiritual revolution, to begin to live consciously, and accountability. There is fear about taking accountability and facing the divine feminine because she is his weakness. And I feel a lot of the masculines are alone. They are alone, facing their fears of being alone, facing their fears of dying alone. I think there's a lot of fear of death. And that's really just an illusion of the mind. We never die. We are eternal as souls. And so a lot of energy of the masculine having to look in the mirror in order to take complete and total ownership. So a lot of hermit energy, introspective energy, when it comes to equal exchange with others and needing to come forward towards the feminine. But there's definitely been a recent rediscovery for the masculine. And all of these impediments and restrictions are due to those addictive patterns, and I've been shown like the breaking of the chains. And so there is a lot of adversity overcoming the masculine, a lot of challenging circumstances, a lot of people trying to create roadblocks, testing him, and he is definitely outcast and ostracized. And quite possibly even the karmic contract went towards another lover. But a huge lesson in dependency. He's been so codependency on these outside influences and for others to bring him happiness. And I feel this double loyalty, this hidden double loyalty has recently been exposed. So we will see what else needs to come through. I feel, yeah, the masculine is getting schooled. He's getting educated when it comes to this higher learning. And there's that mother wound. And so I think he's really asking himself why he chose to go towards this very painful enslavement, which really has created this loss of freedom. I feel a lot of the karmics were very controlling. It's like the masculine didn't have a choice. He had to choose whatever she said and reverse it if the genders need to be reversed. But I feel he is being guided to go towards the feminine, which is his future, which is his success. And that's going to be paramount in the energies when it comes to this hard-earned degree of self-mastery. And so this enslavement, he's at the mercy of all of those karmic contracts at this time. And I feel quite possibly coming into the knowledge of how we role reverse throughout different timelines, where in a past life, perhaps maybe the divine masculine was the feminine or vice versa. And we live many lives playing different gender roles in order to get to this evolution stage. And so a lot of enlightenment when it comes to this current existence, when it comes to these past life lessons and what we have learned and what we are here to bring forward for wisdom. And I think he's just questioning, why now, why now, why now? And this really is to guide him, to prepare him towards the feminine. And I feel a huge lesson in self-worth at this time, in possessions. So we'll get some illumination, oracle messages, rejection. Yeah, he's recently been rejected or has had to reject that entire social circle. I feel he's been outcast. I feel that karmic, you know, that Jezebel spirit, she gets in that social circle and she distorts and lies and manipulates that entire social circle. And I feel the masculine is now finally paying attention to the details when it comes to that social circle. And I feel a rejection from the whole social tribe that the masculine's been connected with, or the family. And so we've got the release that just came through, and then that sees that new opportunity. So I do feel the masculines know the time is now to seize the opportunity with the feminine. And if he continues to hide behind that mask, he's just going to be hit with tower after tower after tower after tower. And so a huge release of the past life connection that is over. That karmic contract is over, whether he has communicated that with you or not. I also feel he really held on, if there was children involved, for the children, trying to do the right thing. And in essence, the right thing would be to seize this opportunity to take a risk and to fix what's broken with the divine feminine. And so taking a leap of faith, but he's hiding the truth to everybody that he's been drawn to you. He's hiding the truth to you that he's been told to go. He knows he's been told to go. The energy is magnetizing him towards you. And he's been hiding the truth, hiding his fear, hiding the truth that that karmic contract is over. And we do have to grieve these endings in these karmic contracts. And I feel a lot of ancestral protection pushing the masculine to come and have that face-to-face. So get ready for an unexpected visit. He is likely trying to find his self-worth and his determination to come forward, because he's never been able to forget you, and there is a lot of regret, and he's stuck in that regretful energy, and that's his pride holding him back. And so still hiding that truth, fearful of coming forward, because I don't think he knows how he's going to be received. So let's grab some tarot. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot. Look at that Hermit. And so going within before things quickly progress forward. And he will be rushing in with a whole lot of communication is what I feel. But right now he's learning that lesson about, hey, you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? You really don't know what you got till it's gone. And he's been sulking. He's been missing you. He's been hiding just how depressed and suppressed he has been. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. The rainbow blessings are right in front of his face. So he's kind of got to come out of that deep inner reflection and to take that action. So definitely like this energy of a standstill. Going within when it comes to making that choice. Knowing that this is a divine connection. A deep past life spiritual connection. So let's see what currently needs to come through. I was going to do a 9-card spread, so let's see. 9 of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed, 5 of Swords reversed. So definitely facing some very harsh karmic judgment. The party's over. No more self-deception. No more self-deception. So, a bad judgment call, right? He went towards the gold dust woman. It wasn't gold. It was not wish fulfillment. This is not my wish fulfillment, and it's over with the Lovers reverse. So, bad decision for sure. Sagittarius energy is what I notice on that card. And so, the 9 of Swords reversed. Things are getting worse in the mind space. There's a lot of fear. When it comes to having that conversation about this betrayal and putting the past to bed. And so definitely being haunted by spirit when it comes to completing this cycle. And if he wants that new abundant beginning, it's going to require some cold hard truth. And so I think he's kind of just really sitting there thinking about what to say. And then the overall outcome is the Devil. So I do feel the karmic contract is trying to tempt the masculine back. There is going to have to be a conversation of how he was a puppet on the karmic string. Could have been dealing with Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And definitely a disillusioned energy, disillusionment, spiraling in the mind space when it comes to the truth of him knowing that he needs to walk away from this karmic contract because it's toxic. It's addictive. It's codependent. And some of these masculines, I feel, are still struggling with addictions at this time. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the Devil. Because it's like this temptation to go back into these old patterns. Definitely everything is out of balance. And I feel an emotional breakdown. Definitely an emotional breakdown. He's definitely gone through a very painful heart awakening. Also feel maybe the karmics revealed that they've met somebody else, or they've been cheating on the masculine. And his heart is broken. And there's the feminine, serene, peaceful, tranquil. She's closing her eyes and she's trusting. She knows she's golden. She's grounded, she's stable, she's solid, likely a business owner, right? And she knows her worth, she knows her value. And I feel a lot of the feminines are, I'm okay if it happens, I'm okay if it doesn't. And this is what the masculine's been withholding. I feel he's obsessed with making things right. And there's that tower. Bad investment for sure. And there's that blocked communication. And so all that did was trap him up in his mind when it comes to not investing with the feminine. And there is a breakdown of that false foundation. And he's trapped in his mind when it comes to this missed opportunity, without a doubt. And the guilt, the remorse, the shame of not taking action is leading to the masculine taking action. Coming in with a message very quickly. Definitely some new divine inspiration, a light bulb moment. The light has been shone, and he's walking a fine line right now when it comes to coming in for that missed opportunity. And he's broken. He's hurting. And in essence, this truly is a victory, because these seeds were planted so very long ago, and the time is now for these unions to commence, for this healing to take place. Wishes. This is what we wished for. This is what we prayed for. And so there is a realignment. And the masculine's going to have to release that ego and do the right thing and take action. And so by that Leo new moon, I feel there will be communication, because the masculine has been given that divine direction to take those guided action steps to restore a sense of balance within these twin soul counterpart unions. Because we are here to build those future legacies for the future, to instill these new solid family traditions built on unconditional love. And there will be a very emotional offer coming. I feel the masculine is going through an emotional breakdown. And he is definitely coming in for his happily ever after and withdrawing from the third party interference, because there's no more passion there. There's no more spark there. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So let's get a couple last crystal stone deck messages, and we're going to call it a day. Oh, that one wanted to come out. So Dambarite, electric light. So I feel he's definitely on edge. He's on edge. A lot of stress, a lot of elevated thinking, a lot of feeling and dreaming and wishing for the feminine. And I feel his daily grind has really ground him right into the pavement. I do feel this rock bottom, but this is where he gets launched and diverted back on path. And so he knows the feminine is out there waiting. And I feel he knows that action needs to happen. He cannot keep burning the candle at both ends. And it's kind of time to burn that karmic bridge once and for all, if he is to find himself. I feel he's in this moment of crisis. And it's a wake-up call, a major wake-up, a major cleanup, and a major redo. And so I feel deep in some melancholy, suppression here in order to go deep into the heart center. And I feel, you know, he played poker and he lost. He had that poker face on, and he's been pretending to be happy, and he's not. And he's been encountering all kinds of people that have really been hell-bent on bringing him down to that gutter level, which is where I feel he's at. And so he's going to have to transform these obsessions. And he's going to have to find his desire to do things right and to get things done, is what I'm feeling. If he wants to claim success, he's going to have to tap back into the divine feminine's life and all of her creative flow that he's lacking. And he's going to have to set things right, is what I'm feeling. He's going to have to make things happen, because I don't feel the feminines are giving any ounce of energy to the masculine at this time. And so he really traded his ethical principles for that karmic contract. And it can no longer be sustainable. I feel a huge disconnection and an opportunity for the twins to re-strengthen this foundation. And so all of these cosmic energies that have been coming through have been aligning the masculine to his core strength. But it's going to require getting real with some truth. And so if he wants to get back on track, he's going to have a hardcore, truthful session with you, Divine Feminine. And I don't think that's going to be easy for him to do. And so I feel he's been deeply taken advantage of in this precipice of purification. And he's got to get honest with himself before he can get honest with you. And I feel it's kind of time to say yes, to reclaim this connection, to reclaim his energy, and to do the right thing, to be honest. And so I think he's releasing the karmic, which was never his to begin with. The karmic's releasing the masculine, which never belonged to her to begin with. And I feel this pressure energy, a lot of frazzled cerebral mind space coming through is what I'm feeling. And so I feel he's got to release the drama. He's going to have to call on his core strength, that solar plexus, that will center, and he's going to have to be honest. I feel the energies are giving the boost to that masculine energy with the Leo energies coming up this week, guys. And he knows he's just got to do it. He's just got to do it if he wants to break free from all of this shrouded dark matter surrounding him. Chronic lethargy. I don't think he's sleeping well. He's definitely been sleeping on his fullest potential, to say the least. And that blinged out karmic energy has stripped him of all of this confidence in order for this restructurizing. And so the energy is aligning the masculine to sharpen his focus, to release this constant temptation. I feel a lot of the masculines are constantly tempted to check their phone to see if you've reached out, to check your social media to see if you've posted anything new, to see what you're up to, if you're with anybody new. And I think they're just kind of like all over the place. And I feel they just want some uninterrupted time to concentrate on what it is they're supposed to do right now. And I feel the energy is amplifying the clarity coming through. So get ready for discussion. Get ready for a discussion, because I do feel the masculine wants to shed light on what's kept him away from you, on all of these negative vices, this victim mentality, all of these karmic vampires in his life. And he does want you to have a clear view of where he has been with his whereabouts while you've been in separation. And so he's definitely at gutter level. He's definitely at rock bottom. And this is where we learn to align with our heart. So I think life has gotten him right down to the bottom. And he's been going against his heart, and he's been begging the universe for salvation. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my God, what do I do? Sagittarian expansion. And I feel it's time to drop it. It's time to drop the act. It's time to drop the mask. It's time to start doing what you know in your heart is the right thing to do. And I feel he's getting ready to go with the heart. Is the energy coming through. So that is a current Divine Masculine update, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, check out that description box below. I'd be looking at booking into the first week of August now, so keep that in mind. Spaces are booking up quickly, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.